Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is February 8th, 2024. So based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located in Lucerne at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage apocalyptic natural disasters and or World War III during the dates of February 9th through February 12th of 2024. So basically, the long story short is that back on February 28th of 2011, I published a book called The Nuclear Bible in respect to a nuclear terror attack planned for the Super Bowl in Dallas, Texas. And since the CIA cannot stage direct attacks on the Super Bowl, what they plan on doing is staging an escalating series of geopolitical events designed to culminate with the Super Bowl audience on Sunday, February 11th. And that's precisely why one Taylor Swift has been employed by the NFL and the CIA to basically garner a larger television viewing audience for the conclusion of said events. So in short, by Monday, January 12th, a chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear event will have taken place. Martial law will be declared. A national emergency will be declared. A DEFCON level event will have transpired, and or World War III will commence by the date of February 12th, namely between the date of February 9th and February 12th. So I'm going to get into it a little bit deeper, but we know exactly what they want to do in this particular window to capitalize on the Super Bowl, which is the single most watched television event in human history. So what they're going to do is stage one or more of these 10 events, possibly an asteroid or comet strike, an antimatter weapon attack, a chemical attack, a gas attack, a dirty bomb attack, a nuclear attack, possibly a missile or 9/11 style, a radiological attack, a weaponized contagion attack, such as anthrax, Ebola, smallpox, etc., a major cyber attack, possibly targeting the Super Bowl or the Internet of Things, and or a Pearl Harbor-like surprise attack or invasion, possibly by the likes of Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, North Korea, Israel, or Saudi Arabia. And in the event that the CIA stages a CBRN event, it will most likely target planes, skyscrapers, cruise ships, trains, subways, trucks, buses, cars, or the International Space Station. It's also imperative to note the CIA plans to stage what I call a dissolution of presidency or dissolution of power event, targeting one Donald J. Trump, Joseph R. Biden, Vladimir V. Putin, Pope Francis, King Charles, who was just diagnosed with cancer, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., or celebrities such as Elon Musk or Tucker Carlson. So exactly what's planned on the dates of February 9th to February 12th is obviously not known, but it will most likely feature an event outside the United States that's designed to culminate within the United States, or it may be a series of events that transpire around the world and then culminate in Europe, for example. So we don't know exactly what's planned, but I'm going to basically highlight the events which I believe are slated to transpire. So firstly, in no particular order, in respect to the Super Bowl. So this is the largest audience, television audience of the year. So Biden, who has refused to do the Super Bowl interview, which is customary for U.S. presidents the last 2 years, it appears that Biden will resign during the Super Bowl, most likely effective the next day of February 12th, which is 18,804 days since Richard M. Nixon resigned. And this, of course, bears the 84 numerology, which is the birthday of Barack Obama, because this will spawn the birth of one Barack Hussein Obama back into the White House. When Kamala Harris becomes president and then chooses Michelle Obama as vice president. It's also expected that Michelle Obama will launch her political campaign for the Democratic National Committee during the Super Bowl. So since I already highlighted the fact that she will be choosing Gavin Newsom, it's likely that she will go solo during the Super Bowl and then add Newsom or another vice president at a later date. So if you haven't been following, what's going on is that Taylor Swift has been attending NFL games since September 24th, drawing in unprecedented viewership. She is now currently in Tokyo, Japan, and she will be flying on the night or the morning of February 10th through February 11th across 13 time zones or so, back from Tokyo to Las Vegas. So it appears that the CIA plans to capitalize on this event, which will be hyped on Super Bowl Sunday. And so the CIA is planning to stage a Russian-Chinese attack on Japan. And Swift will likely be taken hostage or shot down while trying to depart Japan. So the CIA has been executing a number of drills in Japan. One was a radiation drill, a leak drill targeting U.S. aircraft carriers. Another one is called Sama-Sama off the coast of the Philippines. So they're getting ready to basically stage World War III, and it looks like Japan is the target, and then Taylor Swift will be caught in the crossfire, so to speak. It's also highly likely that her plane would be shot down while en route back to the United States under the guise of an accident or what have you. And this would be a ritualistic blood sacrifice, which I've highlighted ad nauseum about Taylor in previous videos. It's also highly likely that China will attack Taiwan and possibly Guam and other islands in the region. Another scenario which I've identified is that the CIA plans to stage an escalating wave of Russian missile strikes and or airstrikes targeting Ukraine, Germany, or Poland to start World War III. Currently, we have Operation Steadfast Defender, which is a NATO operation which I believe has 50,000 troops currently going on right now. There's also a exercise that the United States and Israel was doing called Juniper Oak, which is also a massive war game exercise being executed in the Middle East on two separate occasions. So some sort of preemptive U.S., Israeli, British attack, possibly targeting Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, etc., is also expected. Domestically in the United States, the CIA has staged this ongoing standoff between the Texas National Guard and federal troops in Texas. And so this will likely escalate into a hot war when the CIA has cartel members or terrorists or what have you attack these people that are all, I believe it's at Eagle Pass, Texas, where they're all have gathered. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's going to start small and then escalate. So it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then designed to culminate with the Super Bowl audience, and then culminate with events in Europe and or the United States on February 11th and 12th. It's also highly likely that the CIA will stage basically a USS Liberty incident where the Israeli Navy attacks a U.S. Navy ship or a Royal Navy ship, like a Gulf of Tonkin, like a Maine, USS Maine, designed to basically trigger a hot war. So another exercise that's currently going on is called GS-24. It's being held at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. And this is with, I think, 27 nations. So this is targeting satellites coming down, so satellite crashes. So some sort of cyber-related event in the spatial sector is expected, possibly targeting Elon Musk Starlink satellites, which I guess there's roughly around 20,000. So maybe some sort of satellite crash event, probably under the guise of a Russian, Iranian, or Chinese cyber attack. As I previously mentioned, Operation Steadfast Defender is a NATO operation, so some sort of Russian offensive false flag is expected, kind of like the Gleiwitz incident, which spawned World War III. So that's expected to transpire, possibly, like I mentioned, in Ukraine Germany, or Poland. In respect to the power grid, Operation Grid X is basically the CIA's plan to basically turn off the electricity in the United States to start a civil war. So that may be executed under the guise of a solar flare, a corona, an EMP attack, or a cyber attack. Basically, we have 4 wars going on. We have the Israeli-Hamas war, we have the Syrian civil war, the Yemen civil war, and the Russo-Ukrainian war. And so what the CIA plans to do is during this window of February 9th to February 12th, they plan to stage a CBRN or event or a full-scale attack or invasion. And one of their terror arms is, of course, Hamas. And Hamas is for hummus, and hummus is a Jewish food, and so they plan to stage some sort of Hamas-related event in Israel, Europe, or the United States. That being said, I've identified 3 targets in the United States, which I believe they will stage in a Hamas-related attack on Super Bowl weekend. One is Washington, D.C., one is Las Vegas, and one is Mall of America in Minnesota. So that what they plan to do is stage some sort of escalating hostage crisis, which will eventually culminate with Iranian nuclear terror attacks. Given that February is Black History Month, some sort of race war attack, lynching, dragging, quartering, some sort of heinous mass shooting targeting African Americans or other minorities is expected, most likely targeting an athlete, an actress, an actor, a celebrity, etc. And this is designed to trigger a race war in America as pretext for a second American Civil War. With the crisis in the Red Sea, with the Iran-backed Houthi militias targeting a number of ships sailing through the Red Sea, some sort of attack or terror event targeting cruise ships, commercial ships, or Navy ships is expected. Most likely biological, chemical, or radiological in nature. In respect to Russia, given that Tucker Carlson just did an interview with Vladimir Putin, it appears that the CIA is planning on staging a major regime change event in Russia between the dates of February 9th and February 12th, possibly featuring a 9/11 style attack or a coup d'etat. But something to remove Vladimir Putin from power, and so they can put in a communist puppet dictator designed to trigger World War III. That being said, it might come in the aftermath of an attack, a false flag Russian attack targeting the Polish farmers' protest, which is slated to commence on February 9th. So you have this like 10,000 trucks that are culminating in, I believe, Warsaw. 10,000 trucks, and you also have at the Polish border, you also have all these trucks that are not allowed to go from Ukraine into Poland. So you have a clusterfuck, if you will, of all this shit going on, and then what the CIA plans to do is stage some maybe Russian Spetsnaz, special forces, bombings, attacks, mass shootings, etc., targeting this farmers' protests, which they're bringing all their tractors into Warsaw. Other scenarios I've identified, I believe that because Kanye West just launched his album Vultures, and Kanye West has been labeled in the media for the last 6 months to a year as being anti-Semitic, I believe that's designed to give him some street credibility, and I believe that during the Super Bowl weekend, at some point in time, Kanye West will come out with some breaking news about Donald Trump, about his previous meetings with Donald Trump, and he will essentially stab Donald Trump in the back and attempt to sabotage his campaign with a carefully placed hit piece, if you will, during Super Bowl weekend to get a lot of media traction. In respect to King Charles, who I previously mentioned was just diagnosed with cancer, it's highly likely that he will die this weekend, along with possibly President Biden, King Frederick of Denmark, Angela Merkel of California, Emmanuel Macron of France. So basically what the CIA is planning to do is, because former Ukrainian presidents and politicians have been plutonium poisoned with cancer, essentially. So I believe that this cancer from King Charles is going to be touted in the media as a preemptive assassination attempt by Russia, basically to trigger World War III. They tried this previously in the United States with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. If you recall, Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense, was just diagnosed with cancer, so now we have King Charles with cancer. And so what I believe they plan to do is string them out in a row, kill off a number of heads of state, or have them diagnosed with terminal cancer and then blame Russia for poisoning them. And sometime this weekend, possibly February 9th, the CIA plans on staging a major terror attack in London, most likely targeting the London Tube. If you recall, back on 7/7, 2005, they staged these attacks, and I believe that this likely provided logistics cover for an impending attack, which may be chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear in nature. In respect to one Donald Trump, I believe that, as I mentioned, that they will use this weekend to run an opponent against him, or to basically smear him. But there's also the realistic possibility that Trump would be arrested, possibly linked to the NYCHA scandal, which just broke in New York. They arrested like 70 people for the New York Housing Commission, and because Donald Trump is a large property owner in New York, I believe that he will be linked to this scandal at a later date, and he may be arrested this weekend, which is also designed to trigger riots across the United States. In respect to the 5 missing Marines who just disappeared in their helicopter off the coast of California, I believe that this may be linked to China, and they may produce these men as hostages in a desperate bid to try to start war with China. And last but not least, I believe possibly on the date of February 10th, which would mark 1,284 days since the CIA staged this tanker bombing targeting the port of Beirut in Lebanon, which was executed on Obama's birthday of August 20th in 2020. So I believe at some point this weekend, the CIA is going to stage some sort of a bombing attack targeting Obama's Martha's Vineyard house, possibly with a tanker ship, which would be a CBRN related event, and it will most likely be blamed on Hamas or Iran-backed terror groups. So just to recap, sorry for going so long, but this weekend the CIA plans to stage a major apocalyptic natural disasters, a DEFCON level event, a CBRN related event designed to trigger martial law, national emergency, or World War III. We know what they want to do. I just listed everything that all the different scenarios. There's also the possibility of a biological outbreak, I should add, to start a second global biological pandemic. And last but not least, I should say second to last but not least, it's highly likely that the CIA, if they're unable to stage World War III or a foreign attack or invasion this weekend, it's highly likely that they would execute or assassinate a politician or celebrity in a ritualistic blood sacrifice. Obviously, I mentioned Taylor Swift is a likely target, along the likes of high-level A-list celebrities such as Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Conor McGregor, Tom Brady, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Prince Harry, Aaron Rodgers, Shohei Ohtani, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Aaron Judge, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, etc. And in the event that the CIA does stage World War III, it will most likely target one of their, what I call, hot zones, possibly the DMZ in North Korea, the Gaza Strip, Kashmir, Crimea, the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal, the South China Sea, Syria, Cuba, Sicily, and Hong Kong are likely locations that could be targeted. So as I kindly do with all these videos, in the event that the CIA stages a CBRN event between the dates of February 9th and February 12th, or a series of escalating events designed to trigger World War III, know that it was planned by Switzerland and their CIA, and so I can actually download this video and share it with local, national, and international media agencies, as well as with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials. So I'm praying for a peaceful weekend, and yeah, that's all we can do, right? Have a great weekend. Peace.